Thanks to all of you that you're here today, that you listen to my speech. But before I start, I want you to remember when you asked someone something the last time. So maybe today, this morning in the breakfast room, just remember when you asked someone. And now ask yourself, what if you had to wait 5 days for the answer, right? So that's pretty strange, right? Instead of getting the answer just in a few seconds because you maybe asked just a simple question. And that is exactly the problem that we solved at Toyota. So who is we? I already was introduced. My name is Oliver. I'm the founder of Operaide. Operaide is an enterprise AI platform that enables enterprises to build their own AI systems, their own AI applications, and scale them and operate them. Today with me should be Peter. Peter is Manager Digital Innovation at Toyota, but unfortunately, he really is sick. He had an accident, and not want to go too deep into that, but I have him on some charts, and now I have to do twice the work, unfortunately.
So we say good recovery to Peter. He's probably listening to it, or we will listen to it later. So we miss you here, Peter.
Maybe. Okay, so now imagine who is driving a car? Who has a car? Just raise your hands. Okay, perfect. So think about when something at your car is broken, and then what you usually do, you go to your dealer, right? And you just tell the dealer, oh, look, something is broken in my car, and the dealer takes it, inspects it, and in many cases, not all of them, but at Toyota, in many cases, the dealer says, okay, I see the problem, but I can't solve it. I don't know the solution, right? Because that's maybe a new model, that's an error or mistake that never happened before, and that defines more or less the daily routine of a technician at Toyota. So you find a problem, you don't know the answer, so what a technician does in the workshop, he submits a ticket. Because somewhere at Toyota in Cologne, the solution is present, right? So he submits a ticket, and then he has to wait. And after 4 or 5 days, he gets an answer. Because at Toyota, there are working people that are reading this ticket. They look for information throughout the company in various data sources and so on. And then they try to answer that problem. So what are the consequences? They're pretty obvious. You know, if you're a dealer and you have a lot of cars in your parking lots that cannot be repaired, you know, it gets stuffed, you know. Obviously, you have frustrated customers because think of it, if you go to a dealer for an error that can be resolved in 30 minutes and you have to wait a few days, then your car stays with the dealer. Maybe you have to take public transportation. I have a car, I'm in Munich, my dealer is in Dachau. So everyone who's from Munich or the region knows that it's not that easy to go to Dachau, you know, and it's really uncomfortable. Obviously, you have an overworked support team at the headquarters in Toyota because they have to resolve tickets for really have to have really expert knowledge that they don't have. So basically, they're just searching information in different systems. And of course, you have high operating costs, right? So, and that is exactly what Toyota approached us with, you know, and that's Peter Meik is here with us today on these charts. And he approached us and said, okay, look, we have this problem, can we fix it? And there is a paradox with that whole topic, because the knowledge is already there, right? It's just not accessible. And in the terms of Toyota, this knowledge is captured in so-called TSBs. TSB stands for Technical Service Bulletin, and it, sorry, video guy, I have to, and you know, it has some, it defines some error it says, it tells you for which markets this is relevant, for which models, for which model codes, which error codes are coherent with that, and obviously also some solution description, how to solve that error. And Toyota has thousands of them, right? So like 5,000 to 10,000 of these bulletins just in the German market, different bulletins for other markets and so on. And they all look very similar, but not completely identical. So now you would ask, yeah, of course, there are solutions you can do this, you know? Why not just use full text search, right? That's pretty obvious. But full text search has one problem. Full text search delivers results, but not answers. The second approach, which would be really obvious, could be, yeah, let's create an FAQ or a knowledge base, right? But knowledge bases and FAQs have to be manually updated. And FAQs and knowledge bases are always outdated. That's the first thing. And the second thing, and that's already in the name, FAQ, frequently asked questions, they include the information after it was asked several times. But what about information that has never asked before? A third solution would be, and this is nowadays really, really popular, yeah, just build a chatbot with RAG, right? Retrieval Augmented Generation, really cool. Yes, that is a solution if you have really less documents, and if these documents are really different from each other. But as soon as the documents are really, really, let's say, mostly the same and differ only in really, really small parts, and you have a lot of them, and we obviously do have them here, then it's not the right solution. So we believe what enterprises really need in that case, the first thing is traceability, right? Not only because it's a good idea, but also because the EU AI Act demands us to. You know, every answer, every decision that such a system takes must be traceable, it must be logged, it must be transparent. That's really, really important. The second thing is accuracy. We cannot accept hallucinations in this case, right? So if you repair the brake of a car, then the information should be correct, right? And the third is availability. You know, the technicians, they are not like most of us, you know, sitting at a desk in a really nice office, you know, and maybe can just postpone some tasks and organize their day. They're in the workshop and they have to fix the car right now. And if they don't do it, everything gets messy at the car dealer. And that's why we implemented an approach on our Operaide platform for Toyota that we call Human RAG. And Human RAG is like, imagine an agentic AI system that acts exactly like a human does. So it searches information exactly like a human does. It takes all the artifacts and all the, let's say artifacts of documents and the structure to perform information retrieval like humans do. And we have 4 pillars that Human RAG is based on. The first one is formalized knowledge. So in documents that we all use today, knowledge is formalized, right? So we have, for example, table of contents, right? We have taxonomy, we have domain terminology, right? Like in the service bulletins, we have model codes, we have error codes, we have country codes, and so on. So this is formalized knowledge that such an AI system should use. The second one is intelligent filtering. I often hear, oh, all those AI models, they are so great right now. They have such a large context window. Yeah, just put all the information in the context window and it's fine. But the problem is, the larger the context you give to an LLM, no matter what model generation it is, the higher the probability is that it fails. Especially if the context is really the same and just different in some minor parts. So what we need to do is to filter the large proportion of possible answers down to really the most relevant, and then provide that to the AI. The third one is explainable answers, right? So that's what I said with visibility and traceability. We have to know why does the model answer like this. So what is the information grounded on? And the fourth is, of course, automatic escalation. We don't build systems that are perfect, right? But we have to automatically escalate and get or involve a human in the loop once the AI cannot find an answer. That's pretty important. So just a quick one on that. What's the difference between standard reg and human reg? So in standard reg, usually you convert everything into vectors. You search by similarity, right? And the search is performed by so-called embedding distance. So it gives you a score, and it says, look, these information, there's a score of blah, blah, blah. And that's why the information is the information that I used to answer. But this is not explainable, right? And it really fails when you have a lot of documents that are where the chunks and the chapters are really more or less the same, but the context is different, right? In human reg, we do it differently. So we have domain-specific pipelines that are based and guided by expert knowledge. We have structured filtering to really narrow down the possible sources of information. And we don't have a black box. We say glass box. You know, everything is auditable. Every match is justified, and everything can be traced. So what does it actually look like? I prepared a quick demo here, and I hope it works. Otherwise, I have a fallback video. I did this yesterday already. So Toyota integrated our solution in their what they call dealer portal, right? So that's a really specific technical detail of our platform. So every AI solution that you deploy on our platform automatically creates endpoints, and then you can integrate it in any other tool that you want to use. And that's the dealer portal. So every dealer in Germany uses that to report these types of issues. So what I can do now is I just, that's mit Batterie. It's really a challenge because this is a complete different layout that we are usually used to. So I can now copy a model code. So because that's really nice, because the tool first identifies the right correct car. So in our case, it's a Prius plugin. You know, it's identified by the VIN. For all of you who are not really into automotive, this is a unique identification number of automobiles. And now I can just enter the problem I have. And that is, it looks more or less exactly the same like it did before. So, but just the button changed, you know. If before I submitted a ticket here, then I waited 5 days, and now I just create the ticket via the system. And this, of course, takes time, right? It's not like you're used to when you talk to ChatGPT or something. It's more like what you're used to when you have really complex task that is performed, like tools with Claude Code or like a deep research stuff that you do on ChatGPT. And now it does exactly this. So now it just takes the model. It takes some information from model codes from the problem I have, and boom, there we go. We have, it found me 2 files, right? And it's not about the chat here, right? It's not about that I chat with an AI, you know, that's pretty boring. It's about finding the right document. So if I go now here, I just have the document, I can open it, and here I have my TSB. Prius, entladene 12-Volt Batterie, blah, blah, blah. And I have some more information on that and the repair instructions that I need. There's also a second document that could be relevant, right? In this sense, which is for specific models relevant, but that's it. But the point is here. So we have automatic escalation. So I could now potentially answer it didn't work and so on. Then I get some follow-up questions, and then it gets escalated to a human for human review. But the point is here. So what you see here is a part of the back end of this tool that we have complete logging, right? So I can now completely see what the user query was, and for each stage of the whole process that took now like 20 seconds, I have really detailed logging. So I see how the system filtered down to I guess it is like, how many documents were relevant? Like 5 documents. I have the reasoning. So it explains to me why it chooses those documents, specifically which ones. And I have the complete response or the complete process logged as a JSON. So in terms of traceability, and if we think EU AI Act, I can see exactly everything here, what just happened. So this is really technical, of course, but it includes a log of the whole process that happened behind the 20 seconds that we waited. Now I have to go back to the presentation. Okay. So what is under the hood? I just gave a quick sneak peek. So the most basic layer is infrastructure, of course. When we build solutions for our customers, we highly believe in European infrastructure and in sovereignty. So most of our clients, especially in regulated industries or in high security or more secure industries like insurances, chemicals, and so on, we deploy the platform, the models, and everything on-prem in their own, I don't know the English term, Rechenzentrum, but if needed, of course, you could also integrate US or non-EU infrastructure, but I highly doubt that this should be is a good strategy for us in Europe. On top of that, we put the Operaide platform, which is an integrated platform that provides everything that you need to really develop such applications in a really short time. So this application that we just saw here just took a few days to develop. We have everything to operate the whole thing like in a secure environment, like users, roles and rights management. We have databases, storage. We have the whole AI tracing transparency part, EU AI Act compliance tools to check if the application that you're running is really compliant. We have APIs and so on. So that's what we put on top of the infrastructure. We just use the infrastructural services, and on top you then can build, or developers can build these type of apps. And these apps always are apps that are around in what we call agentic core. So in this case, it's the TechDB app. So how did the project look like? We have 3 phases in the projects we do with clients. The first one is we call AI Experience Bootcamp, which is a 3-day practical workshop type format where we sit together with our customers and we find an ideal case, and then we build it. Because of what you just saw, the developer tools and our platform, we really can build also complex cases in a really short time. And we just build it, we deploy it within 3 days, and then teams at our customers can use it and can give feedback. In this case, it took another 5 days to go from POC to MVP. So that means we collect the feedback, we integrate it, and we optimize the whole tool, and then we can roll it out and use it in production. So from idea to production use, just 8 days. 4 minutes? Yeah, perfect. And obviously the third phase is the scale-up phase, where the customer rolls out the platform to also other parts of the organization, to other use cases. In 1 second, I will tell you more about this. But let's take a look at the results. To us, it's really important maybe some of you know the numbers from the latest studies that most of AI projects fail, 95% of Gen AI projects don't deliver impact, and so on. And that's something that we are definitely working on. Because what we see here is not just another AI POC, but something that is in production and that delivers really delivers results. So we are able to reduce the average handle time of about like from 5 days to 20 seconds, right? These type of use cases. What is really interesting, we have an answer accuracy of 96%. So we did test with cases that the human support team answered wrong and the AI was right. So the system outperforms humans in answer quality anytime. It's not 100%, but humans are less than 96% in this case. That's what I just said. Answers now take less than 20 seconds, and the customer was break even in under 2 months. So this was really fast, precise, and now delivers value. And this is also what Peter Meik would say now. It was just not an efficiency improvement. It fundamentally changed how workshops operate, how they could plan, obviously, and how they can make their customers happy. So I just speed up a little. What did we learn? Don't make the AI smarter, make the structure explicit. That's most of the thing that we build for customers are based on really, really, really small models. We never use like GPT 5.2 or Claude or Opus or something like this. Most of the stuff is based on, I guess, GPT 4.0 mini, and for other customers, it's like the obvious open source LLMs that but really small models, smartly orchestrated. Start with real data, not a demo. I see a lot of demos. We all see a lot of AI demos every day, but a demo that doesn't scale is useless, right? So demos work in a happy path, but business processes are not the happy path. Start with the edge cases and then work towards the middle. Explainability is not a feature, it's a requirement, right? So we must make it transparable if it's not and explainable. If it's not explainable, we cannot trust the system, and if we cannot trust the system, it's useless. That's obvious. And self-service is a culture change. That's also obvious. So this, at a glance, the transformation before highly manual processes, tickets, waiting, frustrated customers, after precise answers. So what's next at Toyota? As I said, it's a platform built for anything at the end of the day. We started with this case. We are rolling out end of month the same for an SAP S4 support agent. So Toyota is switching to SAP S4, big transformation project. And obviously, all the 500 dealers in Germany have a new tool that they have to work with and thousands of questions. And we use the same here to provide a first level support that answers already the questions. Of course, they have what every customer has. I don't see a value here, but everyone wants it, an internal ChatGPT. Okay. We have a contract tracker agent. So that's simply uploading contracts. It analyzes your contract, your renewal dates, the terms and everything, and provides you with a dashboard and insights on all your contracts. And we have 6 more apps that Toyota is developing here. So it's really different what customers do with this. Potentially you can build your own CRM or ERP system on top of that. But I think that's too visionary for most enterprises. So by Operaide, like I said, days to production, not month, right? You can really, really develop your AI applications really fast. It's transparent by design, and it's completely sovereign. So no matter where you deploy it, what type of models you use, and so on. And it's universal. So the patterns that we created here are not just for automotive. We have insurance clients that automate with Operaide multi-agent systems. They're complete, I don't know the term in English, Schadensachbearbeitung. Like when you when you have an accident and you tell it to your insurance company, there are a lot of processes like regulatory, checking and stuff like this that are manual. These companies can automate that with our platform. We have agents for a chemical customer that check lab reports and check values against certain thresholds and then act like an early warning system, and so on.
Looking at the time.
Exactly. So I invite you all. I'm here until tomorrow, the whole day. You know my face, where I am. I will be here somewhere. I have also, of course, the round table. So if you have questions, or if you want to have a separate meeting with me, just book it. Thank you.